Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far. Okay, guys, I'm just going to do an update. Those of you that watched my last video a couple days ago, you know that Emily and I started a bone broth, 3-day bone broth fast on Tuesday. Tuesday was the first day. And so, kind of give you a little update or platform here. Uh, I weighed myself on Tuesday morning and at the starting of the bone broth fast, and I was at 186. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays normally is our fasting days. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays is our non-fasting days. You guys know that I promote alternate day fasting. Matter of fact, I just sent out some information, I think this morning, that actually is showing there's more and more science um, saying that people are actually seeing really good benefits as far as fat weight loss by doing the alternate day fasting, because this is what the science found out, this is what their investigation found out, that people can do them for a long period of time. And why is that? Is because they know that on their non-fasting day, and this is science, this is what the research showed, this was what's published in the Google Scholar, it showed that they knew the following day after their fasting, basically they could eat whatever they wanted, which is true. And then and then on their fasting days, they didn't eat, no calories, just water, sea salt, apple cider vinegar, or black coffee or green tea. So psychologically, they knew that they could eat the following day, so they were able to stay on the program for a long period of time, and that's why so many of them saw the results. I mean, they had like 60, they had two groups, both groups had 60 men and women in it. One was the alternate day fasting, and one was the standard American diet, which we all know is eating multiple meals every single day. So anyway, but Emily and I, every so often, we want to do a extended fast or a prolonged fast, and sometimes we'll do no calories, and sometimes we'll do a bone broth fast like we're doing now. Now, we really, really like the bone broth fast because we still weight train during that time. Now, just because we're not eating any solid foods for 3 straight days, we're only drinking bone broth, and that is done. On our mostly in the 3 days, you're going to probably drink 3 cups a day. And for me, I'm 10 ounces. For Emily, I think she's 8 ounces. But this session of our 3-day bone broth fast, I didn't do as many as I would have liked to because we were busy. And so Tuesday is my normal fasting day. We usually do a 23-hour fast. We call it a 23-1. What does that mean? That means at 23 hours, I'll break my fast with something lean, like either bone broth, or I'll break it with pasture-raised, grass-finished beef, or turkey sticks, or chicken sticks. And then an hour later, I have my main high-fat meal, and my fat is going to be around 65%, 60%, and then my protein is going to be around 30 to 35%, and my carbs is going to be around 5%. Matter of fact, most of the time it's even less than that. All my carbs are coming from veggies. Yes, today, I mean, this is my afternoon coffee that I like to have. But so I just went ahead and went to the next level, and I went ahead and did a 24-hour fast on Tuesday, and then my only meal for the day was bone broth. I did 10 ounces of bone broth with a tablespoon of chia seed in it and a tablespoon of MCT oil in it, and that was it. Salt and pepper for taste, and that was my only meal I had on Tuesday. But I weighed 186, like I said, Tuesday morning on the start date. So then on Wednesday, yesterday, I was supposed to have bone broth around 11 o'clock, bone broth at 3, and then bone broth at 6. So that was my bone broth. The problem was that my second session or my second cup of bone broth I never got because we were out and about, so I didn't actually have it. I did the same thing today. I wish I would have yesterday. I got a hunger wave, I'll be honest, around 4 o'clock, and it was already past 3, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and wait this out because I knew eventually that hunger wave was going to dissipate pretty fast. But I did have my sea salt and water, which that helped to lower that hormone that causes that sends a message to your brain to eat. The pink sea salt and the apple cider vinegar and a big glass of water will actually depress it, and that's exactly what it did. So yes, so on Wednesday I didn't have I had my second bone broth at around 6 o'clock, and that was it. All right, I had some black coffee too, I think I did. So this morning, which is my third day of the bone broth fast, I weighed in at I actually on Wednesday morning I weighed myself after my first pee, and I was down to 182. I dropped 4 pounds. Now, don't get excited here. That wasn't all fat. Most of it was water. And I'm going to try to be very brief and explain what happens is. When you eat food, the food you eat is converted into glucose. Then that glucose is then converted into glycogen. Glycogen is then stored into the muscle to be used later as a source of energy to operate, especially if you're fasting or especially if you're on a high-fat, low-carb diet. Now, what happens is after your food has been converted to glucose, once the glucose is converted into glycogen, the glycogen takes water molecules, takes it with it into the muscle cell. So the water molecules are attached to it, and that's also stored in the muscle cells. Okay? So now I did a 23-hour fast, which means I had no calories at all. I ate no carbs, no nothing. So my body is going to naturally look for glucose or energy so I can operate and still exercise even on a fasting day. Well, where's it going to get the energy from? Well, it's going to get it right from the glycogen in my muscles. So what happens is my body goes to the muscle cell or to the muscles, grabs the glycogen out of it with the water, and then converts it back into glucose through the liver, and then it's transported to all my cells so I can operate. Well, at the same time, that's why we always preach when you're doing a fasting to drink a lot of water and keep up with your electrolytes, because when you're fasting, your kidneys are flushing out a ton of water. And that's exactly why I lost 4 pounds in one day. Most of it was water. Yes, some of it was a little bit of fat weight, but most of it was water, and that's why scales don't work, because it's not measuring the fat weight, it's measuring fluids. Okay? So that's the reason why I lost the 4 pounds. Now, on Wednesday, because I'm doing a bone broth fast, that I'm still drinking a gallon to a gallon and a half a day along with my electrolytes, but I'm flushing the water out consistently, and I'm burning more of my body fat on the following day. Now, when I weighed myself Wednesday morning, I lost another pound. When I weighed myself this morning, I lost another pound. So I've lost a total of 5 pounds as of this morning. Now, one thing I noticed this morning is I have more saggy skin in my ab area, and I still have some body fat I want to lose around my love handles. That's where most men store fat. I still have some there. Even though I'm really lean, I would like to get down to about 4%, just to get down there, just for the heck of it. And so I noticed this morning, and it is noticeable, when you're my age or our age, you're going to notice as you lose fat weight or body fat, you're going to notice more saggy skin, which is a good and a good and the bad. I mean, the good thing is you're losing body fat in that area, but the bad thing is it takes longer to tighten up when you're our age. So I have to deal with that and have patience. Okay, so this morning I lost another pound. So I went ahead and had my bone broth this morning at 10 o'clock or 10:30. We went out to do some errands. Um, didn't get to drink my bone broth at 3. I don't know what time it is right now. I think it's around 4, somewhere around there. Didn't get to have my bone broth at 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and wait till 6 tonight to finish off my 3-day bone broth fast. Now, first of all, guys, I don't know if I mentioned this in my first video or not. Emily and I are not doing this 3-day bone broth fast to lose body fat. We're doing it because every so often we want to cleanse our whole body out. We want to cleanse our digestive system. We want to boost up our immune system. We want to let our digestive tract heal itself and get the little cleaning crew in the small intestine so they have a time and a chance to clean the intestinal walls of all the putrefied food that got caught on the walls. We want to cleanse our colon out. And I'll tell you what, this morning I'm cleansed. It worked big time. And you're going to notice too that you might have a body odor stronger than normal. That's because your body's doing it naturally. Now, we're also, because we're doing this 3-day bone broth, we're also putting ourselves in one of the most healthiest environments known to science, which is called autophagy. And autophagy is really where you want to be most of the time, some level. Now, when you're doing a 23-hour fast like we do on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and most of the times on Saturdays, we're in deep autophagy, which is escalating our growth hormones and our muscle building hormones. But science has been showing that if you eat any kind of calories, it will knock you out of a certain level of autophagy, and that's true, it does. But when you're doing a bone broth fast, we're still in deep autophagy, so our growth hormones as seniors, to help us slow premature aging, is still high throughout the whole day. Most of you guys that are on the standard American diet are eating multiple meals per day. Your growth hormones are peaking out in the morning and then just before you go to sleep at night. Us, or those of us that are doing intermittent fasting or alternate day fasting, our growth hormones are staying high throughout the whole day, and that's exactly what we want. And why is that? Because it's going to balance your hormones out. I'm 69 years old, and my testosterone level, my last check about 3 months ago, was as high as an 18-year-old. My estradiol, or my bad estrogen, is in a healthy level. All my blood work was phenomenal for my age. And Emily was the same way. You know, a woman's testosterone levels plays a huge part in her total health, especially in her senior years, which most family doctors or your doctor won't tell you that. So it's important to keep your progesterone and your testosterone and your other hormones and your cortisol down, and have your hormones checked every so often to see where you're at, so you don't have high estrogen, bad estrogen, especially for you women. So anyway, back to Emily and I are not doing this to lose body fat. We're pretty lean now as it is, although I still want to lose some lean or some of my body fat around my waist. But we're pretty lean right now. And so the reason why we're doing this is for health reasons, to boost our immune system, especially during this COVID thing. And then, of course, detoxing our body of all the environmental toxins that we will never get away from. Even us, even though we eat so clean and we do intermittent and alternate day fastings, we still are going to consume environmental toxins from the air we breathe, if we go out to dinner, we're going to eat the food that has it. You just can't get away from it. But we can help the immune system out by doing these periodic cleansings of doing 3-day bone broth fast or a 48-hour fast or a 36-hour fast. It does wonders. And so we do it every so often. The byproduct of doing these cleanses, let's call them a cleanse, the byproduct is always going to be you're going to lose body fat. It's just going to happen. You cannot stop that if you're doing it right. So hopefully some of you guys that did watch my first video about us getting started and you joined in, I didn't see any comments on my group page. You can go to my weight loss or my fat loss made easy group page, join it. I'm hoping to get some comments on how people are doing on it. This video will be on it. I also will down this video at my YouTube channel. Go to Bill Mabry YouTube, type in my name, and subscribe to it. And this video will be there. So anyway, what issues did I have? Really the only issue I had was, I think yesterday at 4 o'clock, I had the strongest hunger waves. And I really believe the reason why is because I didn't have my bone broth at 3 o'clock with my salt and pepper. If I would have had my bone broth at 3 o'clock, I'm pretty sure I don't think I would have had any issues with a hunger wave. But the hunger wave didn't last. I mean, those of you that have been doing this a while and you do extended fastings or prolonged fastings, you know that it doesn't last, especially if you have your sea salt and water. Okay, so tomorrow's Friday. Tonight ends my 3-day bone broth fast. So tomorrow I'm going to weigh myself. I don't look as losing any more weight because I really don't want to, but I may lose another pound. If so, the saggy skin in my ab area most likely will be even more. Like I said, you've been doing this. We've been doing this long enough. Your body. You can see the extra saggy skin. Now, when it comes to glucose levels and ketone levels, we're normal. My glucose is staying around 72, 73. My ketones are up in the 1.0 range. I'm ketone adapted. So is Emily. So we're not going to register. We're not wasting a lot of ketones that our liver is producing. Our body is ketone adapted, which means that we're utilizing almost all the ketones we are producing from our liver and using it to help our body become more healthier. Okay, so guys, I hope to see those of you that aren't a member of my group page yet. Go to Fat Loss Made Easy and join it. A lot of great information. Some of my fat burning recipes are there. Also, I actually published my 3rd book in Amazon Books. You can go to Amazon, go to books and type in Bill Mabry, Mabry, and my 3rd book will pop up. A lot of people are questioning about alternate day fasting. And why is science talking so much about it? And why are so many people having success with it? In my new published ebook on Amazon, Alternate Day Fast explains why. It gives you an idea of how it works, what science is saying about it, and what it's doing as far as helping people lose that fat weight. I'm not calling it weight loss. I'm calling it fat weight. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, saw some value in it. I hope to see you in my group page, Fat Loss Made Easy, and I'll see you guys at the next video. You guys have a great day. See you the next time around.